Welcome, guys. Wednesday, another nice move to the downside, I guess. To be positive of the whole market. I don't think people like that positivity in it. But as been mentioning last Sunday, we still are in the continuation to the downside. We didn't even try to break anything for on the 4-hour structure. We didn't even come close to the whole volume control point on the what's that 95.2-ish area. So by all means, this is still a continuation. We still have some more bit stacks below us, so potentially that's the magnet to hold on for any potential continuation to the downside. First major stop's gonna be around 84.9-ish area. And remember one more thing, 77-ish. That's the low that you don't want to lose or you want to hold. It all depends in which direction you want to go. That's the lowest that you want to go on Bitcoin. Still potentially quite a long way to go, but believe me, we can do it quite quickly as well. So coming from the high that we settled on 95, we didn't even reach that. We underside retest the lows of that one. To be honest with you, we didn't even reach the daily open with the price action. So that said, the weakness is still in. There's not even one single potential structure that I like on it. Like, yeah, I can say like 1 hour is quite strong, but we already failed that twice. So by all means, this is still a continuation. If you want to end it on here, then that's the way. It is what it is. You can do nothing about it. We just follow the price. You can cry about it, but you just position yourself in right direction, then there is nothing else to look from it. Yeah, of course, the spot backs are hitting, but we're all in the same area. You didn't take profits. Sorry, but that's a little bit more. Not really gonna say anything else about that because people have been coming after me as well lately, just complaining about the price action. Like I can do something about it. This is just typical PA. So overall, we still in 74 long. We might see some potential cool off period, but that's only that till we're gonna see some bigger flips in long and shorts. So far, it's still down. Moving on the charts, there are some things that I want to mention as well, especially the VIX, because I've been talking about that one already since weeks, I guess, and this is still in a continuation, right? We had a small, significant drop off of that one. We saw that as well in the charts, but right now we are already, and kind of I don't like the trend lines, but it's what it is. We are into that trend line. That's the third touch. If we're gonna flip that and seriously gonna go a little bit more higher up, we're gonna find ourselves in 28. If not, we're gonna reach 37. That said, if we're gonna reach that area, we might find ourselves around the 74-ish area on Bitcoin. Be aware, this is still continuation, right? This is the whole volatility index that shows you that the volatility is coming in, and it is. Like we're seeing that in the whole perspective of the market. So please don't disagree with it or don't go against it, because there is not even single point for looking for any long. Still, you're gonna see any change on structure or in the price action even first, right? Overall, this is still continuation, right? Next, secondary, I've been mentioning that as well. Dixie, we didn't broke anything to the low on that one. Still continuation. Breaking this high of $100, you might straight up find yourself in 101 area. What does that mean? That means that still we are not even aiming to go lower. We're going for the high of the previous of beginning of the year, technically. If you regain that, we're gonna find ourselves 103. If Dixie starts to rise, the market tends to go lower. And that said, we've been doing that since the September of 17 constantly and quite nicely and perfectly as well. So this is still continuing. As said, flipping that market is still fucked. So not even thinking about to do anything against that. Overall, still the tree as it gets, losing the daily low, as I mentioned over here, the 900. What you get, you didn't even come even close to flip that. You're gonna aim straight to go lower. There is nothing else below us to hold. And even this, I'm not sure if we're going to hold, if we're going to go straight into, because that's been quite perfectly tested with that whole dump. We're still filling this whole wick even. So this is it. Perfect. This is your whole market. If you say that this is whole manipulation, then I'm sorry, but this is whole price action to the downside. As perfect as it gets. Then, following, not that one, that one. Still aiming to go lower. We are below on gold on the midpoint on the daily swing. So that's as well nice to go back into the 3.9. Let's see if we're going to hold that for any continuation of the sideways of that one. I'm not sure if you're going to lose that one because still there is much more to that one. This is just the range that I'm aiming for, but potentially this is the low that you don't want to lose. That's the daily low of the swing. It's been already tested, so holding on that might come back into the mid one and we might do the range. Or potentially what I can see as well, we start to do something like this, right? And then we start to take out the highs of it. So potentially this is kind of the areas that I'm aiming for. Not really aiming to fill this whole wick or even going back into the 3.4. That's going to be quite major for gold that we kind of didn't do it in overall market, right? We didn't break the whole low of the high time frame on that one. So still, that's a continuation sideways for the low. It could be a potential nice long. I might try to long it if I'm going to remember it or if I'm going to be able to sit in front of my PC for that one. If not, then the bot's going to take care of it. Then that gap been already closed, a small gap. There is not much else left for it. Let's see how the next weekend's gonna play out. So not much about that one. But as I've been mentioning, the dominance as well Sunday. Watch out for the low. If we start to hold that one, start to reverse, and then we're gonna see if we're gonna flip the 59.5. That's potentially aiming to go higher up, even in this area, and then that one. So you have still three quite much resistance area to flip or to bounce from. But holding on this low, that means we are still in a whole high time frame. Oh my god, fucking time frame. Technically in a continuation, right? We didn't break that low. Breaking that low potentially gonna reverse the market. Then we might see some up move. So far, we're not doing it yet, right? Gonna depends how we're gonna close the daily today. We're gonna close below that, then yes, that's the low that you really want to close below for potential movement of the market to the upside. So far, you test the low of that structure. So secondary coming back into that when we start to do something like this level not gonna hold. We're gonna go lower straight ahead. So that's potentially good for the long term. So far, we're bouncing from that low that we settled over here. And I'm aiming for the 59.5-ish area for rebounds. If not, we're going to flip that. Then that's potentially still continuation for the market to go lower. Easy as it gets. Those are the levels that I've mentioning last time. Those two, we broke the 1, the 59. Now we get into that one, technically holding. Let's see if we're going to flip that. This is technically as well in the mid one area that I want to see. Important ones, and the rest is going to be the history of what we're going to do. So far, we're holding on the 59. Let's see. I'm wondering how that's going to be closing. But if the market tends to go lower right now, then this will break out of 59.6 and we start to aim for the 60. That means potentially lower, right? Because as we know, if we're going to have increase of dominance, if Bitcoin start to increase, then the alts start to fall only. But so far, increase of dominance and we having decrease of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still going lower, then the alts start to go lower as well, quite heavily and quickly. But yeah, this is what you aiming right now for. You want, to be honest, the dominance going down, bitty up, and then the alt's going to do their own thing. So far, we retraced. fully, and we might see some reaction from the higher levels on that one. So yeah, not much to say. It's still continuation. Like I mentioned, those are the levels to watch out for. Hello, Turbo Quad. What are you doing? This is shit. So yeah, we back at the stable coins. Again, we're gonna flip flop. This is gonna take for a couple. Wrecked, yeah. Food poisoning? No, fuck you. Again? Jesus, boy. Oh, what are you eating over there? You should take care of yourself a little bit more. Salmon. Oh boy. I'm busy. I'm quite busy this week, and yeah, still shorting the shit out of the market. So happy about that. Yeah. Anyhow, like I've been mentioned on Sunday, we are flip flopping on the stable coins. We're gonna be around this area till we're gonna break the neutral line. If that's gonna happen on the stable coins, we're gonna break the neutral line. Then and only then we see some potential to come back and do some damage to the upside on some alts or maybe even on the Bitcoin. So far, we still going down. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Yeah, we had a small squeeze over here. That was Tuesday. But so far, nothing happens on that one. We had a small bounce on the lower time frame. Not even something that I was considering for too long, and I wasn't even thinking we're gonna hold the lows on that one. So yeah, still going lower. Now the most interesting one, capital flow index. The most interesting one is that USDT are starting to come back below the 60 area. That's interesting, but the rest is rising. So Dixie, BIX, still freaking rising into it, and that's gonna continue till we're gonna see some flips on it. We still in the same position we've been even last week. So believe me, this is still continuation. Last time we've been around the 71% of Bitcoin, or even lower than that was the February still. The February dump, we all remember that, I guess, right? The beautiful shorts what we took from it and the painful moves that everyone was crying about. There it is. That's the next step. We're going to do exactly the same what we're doing right now. If not, we're going to do even deeper, and that's the 81. That was the 24th June. It was over here. So yeah. Just keep in mind that this is still continuation. As I've been saying as well, last time, I'm looking at the capital flow index as well a little bit more differently than most of the people will even recognize it. I'm seeing this as well as a chart. What do? You're failing the low right now. You're still in the continuation. Flipping that, that's the minus 3.8, right? You set a new high, you have a continuation. Or you're going to range. So far, this is still downtrend, right? Where is the low that you don't want to lose? Technically the minus 94. Let's see if we're going to hold that. If so, then you're going to go back into the area of minus 51 and 57. So that's how I'm looking at on capital flow index as well. A little bit more on depth of the coin behaving or market, depends. But yeah, overall, this is still doing that. Still we're going to do that. Let's see. So far, nothing even close to it. So yeah, moving on. Our lovely main coin. Let me clean it up first. Much more easier than it. And I think this is gonna be every single stream like that for a couple weeks before we're gonna even turn around. I've been saying this as well for quite a while that we did all of that, and right now we are doing this. Right, this is the whole extended move. What we have from the last bull run. The dump right now, we're doing technically all this, and on the weekly it's a little bit more effective to see. So for me, and I've been saying that as well for 2-3 weeks already, the most important level that you want to hold or break, no matter what's it's gonna happen, is the 78.2. That's the level that you technically want to lose if you want to go to the bear market, or you want to hold for maybe even trying to go into the highs. But I'm not sure if you guys been listening to the stream of Viking and Max today on Market Open. I've been there for a couple minutes before I bounced for a meeting. Technically, I'm seeing that we might run the highs again and then fail from it. Same thing what we've been doing over here. We still could and can't settle a new high. That's still possible. No matter if we're gonna break it or hold the lows that we are settling right now, same as we did over here. Because believe me, every single person in fucking world will fucking long the shit out of this. And how perfectly you want to start a bear market to wreck all of them straight ahead without even coming back. This, like, for me, this will be like the most perfect scenario for the bear market. Like losing that, but eventually, how are you gonna lose that? And I bet you we're gonna do exact the same thing what we did, setting the new low after new low, and then in one we're gonna spike up just to make everyone fucking jump on the longs. Like retail's gonna go ballistic on that one. Boy, oh boy, they're gonna cry when we turn around away. But that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna do. We might even do exact the same, similar structure to this, right? Coming back even on the weekly, I don't really care, but that's just to show you how the chart looks like. Coming back into it, you might grind it out, right? Do something like this, top everyone out, and then just round it up. This. I'm aiming that we're gonna do it, and then we. I mean, best scenario ever. It's gonna be to get in around the 100K or run the highs and then fail from it, like quite heavily. To the fucking pain in the ass move. This is what I'm aiming. But overall, my goal is to reach the 78. We're gonna break it or hold it. I don't care. This is still the area that I'm aiming for, that we're gonna get into. So far, not really keen on that, on this whole level that Vikings been mentioning, because that technically it's been already tested and we've been already quite heavily through it. So not really much to hold on that for me. Still aiming for the lows, and we might even do a sneaky close. Like, yeah, prepare yourself for that one as well. So yeah, this is still the aim. And yes, it is another 10, 13, 11, 12, depends where you want to go on it. Potential move. But on top of that, monthly is at 82. So we even could do only the monthly. But I'm not sure if we're going to hold this 10% pricing to the downside for the next 2 weeks for the monthly to be closed. We could, I'm not sure. We might even close the monthly above, weekly as well above, run it up, and then do another squeeze, fail everyone, run the stops, settle a new low, and then gonna run it up. We might do something like that, pain in the ass move, or like normal shit what we always do, something like that. I'm still aiming that we might do exact the same thing. I don't know. I have a feeling we are preparing for ourselves, because this is still like slowly grinding to the downside. It's nothing like we do fucking I don't know, 20k candle to the downside. Right? We might even do that over here as well when we're gonna run all of the bits, and then we're gonna do one more big drop. All possible. So far, still grinding to the downside, and it is down. It is. So those are the two major levels I am looking at. Yeah. There's nothing else that interests me at all. This price action, and I'm not even bothered with 4-hour things. Yeah. This was really fucking off. Did this? Yeah, that was perfect. Build up on it again. Down. Big gain. Did even flinch to come back for it. Yeah. But we might do that. So far, still aiming to go lower. And there is not really something in between 82 that I'm thinking about. We're gonna have bounce. And then still, people say there is not much liquidity below us. Like, believe me, there is. They are not showing on the levels. That's one thing. Local shit. That's fine. Keep in mind in that. Right? Yeah, I know we have schedules above it, but I don't care about that. Still, we're not gonna break anything above us. So far, we're failing every single low. We're failing every single of. We still doing the every single underside retest, and we're failing every single low that we settled. So yeah, maybe not much over here, but if you switch back to most powerful tool is the pants, back into the 20x. Gone. That would be lovely. Didn't even bother with the core trend. Come close even. Cool. So yeah, so far, this is the area I'm aiming for. And I'm still holding on that one. I wish it went a little bit more higher so I could head up a little bit more to the short. I was away over here, so I couldn't even pay attention to the price action, but didn't trigger my alerts so far. Yeah, this is still the price at the levels that you aim for. If you're gonna go lower, that's after that. So far, this is the technically, if you want to call it, the support that you aim for between the 72, 78, 82, 78. Sorry, this is the support. This is the area that you aim. Quick below that, fine. Look, and even like that. If you invert this whole shenanigan, what you aiming for? Of course, you're aiming for the first high, right? The first high that you're gonna meet the price. So what you're gonna do? Fail from on the side retest of that one, or you're gonna regain the high of that one, and you're gonna turn around and maybe do a small pullback for potential like that, right? I think that's obvious. And then you're gonna aim for this area, and market's gonna. Let's see. But that's not the deal about now. It's just how the chart looks. And this is it. This is as easy as it gets. How do you invalidate that? Technically, if you turn around now and you set a new high, right? Obviously. What you're gonna do if this is the 5-minute chart? Short the shit out of this, right? Obvious. Why? Because you broke this. But yeah. And still, people are not really agreeing on this whole price action and crying about and calling out. But this is what it is. Don't understand the price action and the basics of it, then sorry. And I think this fucking Canadian guy mentioned this, right? He's aiming for that. Then yeah, this is well the stupid flip. We might even go lower than that, but could be PT86. Let's see how that's gonna be the action of it. But yeah, so far this is still aiming to go lower. Fine. Awesome. Oof. That's gonna be a nice daily. Bang on, I guess. All right, let me have a look on different tokens. What we are doing. 5. That. 4. A lot of stuff happening. Let me look on by the price action here. Yeah. I come back in 1.5. Let's see if I can get a little bit lower on that one. So yeah, still I guess I'm gonna aim for those two. High of the low. How that's gonna overall technically quite the same structure as failure. Anna still holding on the low. Not settle, but that's the last low that you hold because after that, that's gonna be low. Back failing that. Thank you. That's done. That's done. This, if not, but hey, we still have one more low to hold on. I see Solana at 100. Hype still sideways, holding. Well, I'm gonna be as well quite depending how the daily is gonna close on that one. I'm still seeing hype coming back into the 34-ish area. That's for sure. And injective had a nice run up, but didn't do much. Bad retest. Fully coming back. And AVAX going lower. So yeah, not much changing. Still in a continuation, guys. Was a freaking awesome bad read. Really perfect. So yeah, anything else that you want to look at, guys? We'll talk about. So far, we still fucking doing the Pac-Man shit. Still gonna do it. That was a quite nice. Well, make everyone long into it, then wreck them. Not even like a couple hours later. Awesome. Awesome. Love to see it. Changing on that perspective. And I think correct game white point a little bit more behind than I was calculating. But hey, let's see. That's gonna be the deal. What we used to do over here. Well, quite extended. Who knows? Might deal with the same price. Netflix short, a little bit in that one. Didn't come quite high. Oh, and they did do the split. Yeah, 10-1. Still in that freaking short a bit. I'm closed out of it over here. some of them when they start to turn around, and I guess it was looking at it to come back into the highs, but didn't even bother so far. Still in the control. Let's see if we're gonna hold the low. Hold that. We gain 112, and then might even come back. Yeah, good luck with that. Just, yeah, I was like, yeah, what the fuck is that? By the way, been a long time. I'm not really recommending it, but it's good for a good detox, right? Session. But yeah, um, back system, back stuff. Not much to go by. Oh, failing, coming back into the lows. Yeah, gonna be all about it. Reach the lows of. And meta is still. Are we gonna reach my box? Small miscalculation over here, I guess. Happens to the best ones. Microsoft fucking double bot. Top. Hang on. Tesla is still alive or not? What's this? Much I guess, huh? Hmm. Do they have today? Yeah, I forgot about it. Something for my students. So let me erase that. Good. Mm-hmm. But the big positive. Last time that, yeah. But to be honest with you, like, you know, yeah, you wouldn't sure if that's if so, then yeah, definitely. So yeah, we need to go a little bit more in depth into that one. But could be. Yeah, who knows? Well, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Holding that with the earnings coming in, we might see some spike into the highs, definitely, or Nvidia knowing it's gonna be even ballistic for sure. Still- But yeah, guys, like, don't give. Let's go back. I've been a little bit more over the places. Look at here. So first pit stop, it's gonna be 88. Why? The high of the wick and the highest wick of that period over here of that range. So we might see some pit stop. Then the next one, weekly high. That's the weekly high, body close high, and the monthly low. That's gonna be around the 82. Those are the first three major levels. After that, you start to break shit. So this is potential to hold, as in bounce from it for hold of the previous low of the high time frame. Every single thing below 82, you start to break high time frame. That's what you need to remember. So this is the most important shit, right? So technically, let me are quite heavy on the red and green. So this is what you want. Maybe this is less what you want. I want that. I want that instead of that. But this is to hold high time frame. This is losing high time frame. Everything below that. Just for your how does that works. Right now we are getting into the 88 to 88.9-ish. That's a big high. Let's see how we're gonna deal with that. Not sure if it's gonna be the bounce. If so, we're gonna do constantly this or this. Back into that again, until we start to fucking something like this sketchy thing. One more wipe, and then something like that. I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna do same thing over and over as we've been doing last year, last bull run. And then potentially, right? Like, don't get me wrong, all of that shit to the upside. When Bitcoin start to do this move of 30% to the upside for the last underside retest, what we can do, all of that, it's gonna give you sort of alt season if you wish for or whatever, if you're still aiming for, or potentially going out of your bags or take some profits or whatever. Maybe even that's going to be the continuation into the alt season when Bitcoin start to roll over, like, the bigger stuff. This is overall just it is 28% right now. We might do 30%, depends how deep we're gonna do. But this is still high time frame pullback. Nothing major happening right now. We even not. I mean, I'm not thinking about the bear market now, just because we still have shitloads things to do, and we can even continuing doing that for something like this, higher, that, start to break stuff. So that's technically a year. Why I just row. And that's on Bitcoin only. And in meanwhile, alts can do their own thing, right? Because to be honest with you, like, if you roll most of the good alts, right, or proper ones, they just been technically quite heavily holding and just slowly losing something, not really dropping off the cliff and fucking doing $10 candle or whatever amount what it is, like big ass amount, right? It just slowly grinding to the downside. That's best what you can have for alts instead of doing this as big as candle. And I'm not saying every single token need to fill the wick, because that's like, yeah, it can happen, doesn't need to, right? So don't get me wrong, it doesn't need to. So not really looking at that, not even aiming for that. This okay on that one, but yeah, that's the first resistance that's gonna, yeah, that's the RSI flip. Let's see how that's gonna play out. You can, this can do even like this. Could be potential for that. Overall, like, just go through the whole watch list. They're still grinding to the downside. There's nothing that's like really badly going off the cliff and like dead ass price action or something. It's just steady. That's good. That's technically really perfect for alts. Because you need to remember every single movement that you're creating right now, like this, it's get loads of short liquidity stacked. When you start to turn around, it's gonna be your freaking ballistic moves. Most of the coins, most proper coins. Wait, did Trump fucking hell? Realize that. Had a nice proper close finally. But yeah. Had one. Check on. Test. Still could fail. It's okay. Oh, and pro. So yeah, still grinding to the downside. And look at that. Confirmation. Still doing all of that stuff. And maybe sideways, and then we're gonna do the pop. Same thing. I'm not saying gonna take you till March for the pop, but most of the times we've been doing that extended whole sideways move. That's technically a little bit more the same amount of the days, technically. But yeah, who knows? And there is your reaction of 88.9 or 88.7, sorry. That's your reaction from that one. Yeah, still down. Daily. To close the daily above 92.2. Retrace all of that in the next 6 hours. Could be. Still possible. That's gonna be closing above the failure. Yeah, you might reverse that. But that's the only key. When you close anything above here, right? So you're going back into the high, what's been already tested, right? So you're going back. Then the next daily open up with the retrace, of course, holding the low. You start slowly to change something, right? Slowly. But then you still need to that shit back and then something like that. Yeah, Michael. Have a good one. Enjoy your dinner, and I will talk to you later. Let me know when you finish dinner. So yeah, overall, still continuation. Next stop after closing something. If you start to close your 4 hour, 1 hour below the 88.7, right now, gonna drop into the 86.0. Leave. I hope it's gonna be a polished then, not that fucking British one. Tasteless. Bland. Absolutely what? But yeah. Oh, good. Good, good, good. So yeah, so far this is still continuation. Nothing else to say. And I've been mentioning, use the bands, guys. This is the most. If you don't see anything else of liquidity, there is much more like below. And of course we can take that. Like there is no need. We need to stick with the core. We've been doing that and we're failing quite heavily. We don't even come close to it since 103. Yeah, 103 dollars. Sorry, 103K. We didn't even come close to the core trend of 4 hour. We've been failing it. My slow. It's good. It's okay. So yeah, I guess wrecking all of that gonna be a proper bounce. Uh, we don't need to. Like the most funny thing is like this is what people don't realize. We don't need to even come lower than that. Make you a bit happy about the price. We don't need to come back to 74.4. Not even close. We don't. We seriously could be in the area of 78, above that or around that area. Even to even considering high time frame to be broken, because that's the weekly and monthly. It's higher than the daily. But that's not gonna be even like potentially thinking about like the daily 4 hour, 1 hour structure anymore, because the high time is gonna be broken. That's the most effective and most respectful time frame, right? That holds every single thing what you're doing lower. So coming into that area, yeah, you can break stuff, even first monthly and then weekly. And then the funny thing is, you seriously like considering like breaking monthly. So think about that we're gonna stay here for 2 weeks for a monthly close below that area. Then yes, then the whole high time frame it's done. No matter if the weekly and the daily and 4 hour, 1 hour, whatever time frame not even been broken. But the monthly, that's carrying everything with it. Now we're considering then that's the down and the failure. So yeah, I'm sad that I couldn't short this shit again. Still alright, still in continuation. And like, oh yeah, I've been mentioning the stream of today of the market up open. Like if people been there, um, they've been talking about that bearish and bullish and whatever scenario. Like to be honest with you, I hate that terms as well. Like what's bearish, what bullish. This isn't bearish at all. This is just a pullback. Bearish starts to be here. This is bearish stuff. All of that shit over here, that's bearish. Technically, talk about that. Same thing we did over here. All of that was bearish. To extended point of this area, this been technically a pullback, and then we failed that. So, right, you can extend that to over here. This you bearish scenario. Same thing. It's gonna be over here, right? Bulls or bullish scenario is everything above, technically above the previous high. This is bullish, right? All of that stuff. And yes, it doesn't line up with all of the scenario that been taught about it, but this is how you look at it. Everything above the previous high. So this stuff, technically, this is all freaking bullish, right? Failing this gets you in a proper bear market stuff. So again, same thing, right? And every single time that's going to be extended. Us doing this whole move over here, that's been 1.1 1100% move, right? Because the price was quite low. Now the price is starting to get bigger. Now we're doing 700. Yeah, deal with it. Like, so what? This is still, if you didn't take advantage of this whole move, then I don't know what to tell you. You should flip over here, technically. after all of that, what we did. This was the flip. Every single thing after that has been bullish. It's been the bull market, 700%. Like, yeah, we did quite a lot already. And if you want to more, then that's greedy. We could, like, turning around right now to another high. Yeah, all that. Potentially, we could. Are we able to do that? In all of that weakness already, what we are doing? Not really seeing it. Not yet, at least. That's going to be make it or break it level. 82. That 5. As it gets. Nothing else. Or you're going to come back straight into 58. That's going to be a freaking panic move in people's eyes or Twitter or whatever. That's the shit's going to go wild when we're going to do that. Bro. But hey, so far, this is it. Yeah. Starting to get into this, let's say, quote unquote, support. If this U box, right, on the body, this U box that you want to hold, if you're gonna get below that, start to break stuff, and still potentially you could go lower. But of course, most of the times when you start to break some stuff on the high time frame, you start to go for the highs, going over that quite heavily. So, all remember. Is there anything? Look at that. We are literally right now on the band, lower band. We didn't been there since August, 5th of August. Last time we touched that one. That was quite nice move to the upside. And then we had this. Still could do that. Right? Potential rebounds back, and then you have exactly the same structure over here. And then you have continuation. Yeah, good. And that's the weekly, right? Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Monthly one? Oh, even close to that one, right? Yeah. So yeah. Any questions, guys? Anything? Pulling some orders. Oh, get that. Oh yeah, 90. Sorry, 87 one. That one. 87 ish. 87 2. I think that's March. Okay, so 87 2 gonna be 7 2. Yeah, you have overlapping or bits 900 and 200, so it's gonna be 1.1k spread over here. So potentially you aim for a quite a bounce from it. Retest something. So if you're gonna come back into that one, right? Coming back, retest. Let's say you're gonna go over here and then yeah, that's well another level to keep in mind. If those bits not gonna be pulled, then yeah, you're gonna see some pullback of that ones. Nothing major, nothing special, nothing quite like bigger stuff like 2k or something that we've been seeing from the tops. That's been pushed quite heavily to the low of the price every single time since we've been starting dropping that 2.2 or 2.2k of bits, which you see quite rarely. Right now, it's been always from the top, so still nothing major of holding it. Boy, oh boy, I said Sunday's gonna be interesting week. It is. Already in mid of it. Is there anything else that's coming up tomorrow? Housing, right? Home sales. Unemployment rates as well. Jeez. Oh boy. Oh boy. Today. That's next. Fuck. Um, Next week's gonna be quite well. Holy fuck. Yeah. End of November as well. Yeah, guys. Black Friday stuff, right? The 25th it's gonna be. 25th is the Black Friday or 26th? I don't remember. I fucking never can remember that shit. Anyhow, around that period, on the next week, it's gonna be quite a lot of numbers coming in into the market. So possible some much more volatility coming into the market. Growth rate as well. Permits, spendings, PIs, personal income. Fuck yeah. Boy, oh boy. Off the cliff. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. Have your capital flow index as well on the market side. So with the Dixie, with VIX, gold, the total tree, that's gonna help you as well to do a significant direction. And I mean, like, fuck's sake, like, I don't know how to make it obvious as well, guys. But try to look at those stuff as well as look at the charts. I've been mentioning that as well last week. All of that stuff we've been doing, right? Fail from it, and what you're doing now, hold, and essentially you start to regain your stuff on high time frame. So, could this go even higher? Yes. Could we go lower for a small cool off period? Yes. Are we gonna break something? Only below the minus 11. Otherwise, it's still continuation no matter what. Simple as that. Maybe weird to look at it, but I like weird stuff on trading. This same thing over here. What do we do? Overall, this is the whole market. Right? Same thing over here. Capital flow index is really gonna change your way of looking at the market and price. If you're not using yet, time to start. And we had a nice 1 hour close already. Perfect. Look at that. Where is it? Low? New lower low? Yes. There it is. Yeah. Convex has to represent on when you it's so how many you it's this is just the calculation of the portfolio. All of the numbers what you're seeing right now, fully, right, with all of those stickers, it's all calculated as like you will hold it as a portfolio, right? But when you signify it as a single one, that's gonna be the accurate percentage what the chart is doing as well, right? So over here, look at this as the whole portfolio. Same thing over here. Those numbers will change, and it's not that it's give you the wrong numbers. No, it's still accurate numbers because of the moves. It just gives you the price data, right? I have it only on the price accumulated, same as this would be your portfolio, because this shows you as, okay, this is you 100% of the portfolio, all of those stickers doing those numbers are according to your whole holdings, right? But still, this is still all the same either way if you remove it. Goes back below 60 for when change, right? Wait, percent on capital flow or on the chart, you mean? Because if it's on the capital flow index, for change of it, yes, I mean below 60 and continuation to go into the neutral line, so the zero line, right? This is just a pullback. Everything below the zero line, yeah, we haven't change of the structure and definitely change of the character of the whole movement. Yes, because going into the zero line, this could go good. On the chart wise, this could go over here and still that, right? Still continuation till gonna break right now the 19 area, right? That's how you. And yes, if you see anything below this or turning around from the 60 or below, going lower, that means we have a pullback on that significant token till you're gonna reach your neutral line. Everything below that line start to break or fail. And and same like I just mentioned, right? Like delete everything and keep your one token that you look at it or you want to see look at it, and then I've been saying as well there. This is when you start to change inflow or outflow of the capital flow. That's minus 10 on VIX. But still, VIX can go lower, and then right, we've been doing this quite perfectly over here. So we failed. Start to read, right? Hope that's all. Look at this as a chart. Try to look at it as a chart, or even better, make it a little bit more easier maybe on the brains. At every peak that you did, going higher. Failing the low of that, going lower to minus 20. Failing that, you're going there, right? High, low, lower, higher, high, failing there, and then grind the shit out of it. And you've been holding on. So it's weird, but that's, I don't know, I found it quite similar to behaving as a chart, and it does quite the same thing. And it shows you as well the direction. Even if you don't look at the percentage of the moves, it's still continuing, still reaching into the highs of it. I wish we had bottom over here to like think or check mark all of them or uncheck them all. Anyhow, so what are we focusing on this box? This is still continuation till that box gonna find itself over here and then start to get here. So you're gonna do something like this, all of that going here as well, and then you start to a flip. Squeeze first, then do the flip. Any questions about that? Nice. Good man. Good. Have a look, man, and play around with it. It's a really strong tool to use. And you can set it up however you want. Make sure the chart of the ticker have price. Right? And add something with percentage or something that doesn't have value. And then play around. Use it as well as your portfolio. Market significant as well. Use it. And I mean, let us know as well how you're using. Like, that's the most fun and important thing as well for us. Like, I mean, I've been using it in one way, but maybe there are like multiple different ways that you guys gonna find. Like, I hope that's gonna be interesting and helpful as well at the same time. And if Jack is done already. He's kicking me out. Okay, so I need to wrap it up, guys. The boss said I need to quick. Just going. Okay. And guys, if you don't have anything, or I mean, you find. Hey, wait, what? Why is this one showing up? I want that one. This. If you need anything, you can find it as well over here. With dominance chart. Yeah, you can use with the chart of dominance, but you cannot add the dominance into it. It's not gonna show. It's gonna show us, for example, BTC. Because dominance technically doesn't have a price. Dominance is only volume based. Oh, fucking hell. Or maybe they updated, because last time I tried to add dominance to it, it didn't allow me. Yeah. Or it didn't show us dominance. So let's say dominance, gonna make it pink. See, it says BTC over here. And it doesn't say dominance. It seemed to work. You can add it, right? But it's gonna show you the Bitcoin price, not the BTC dominance. Not gonna show you over here, right? You can add on the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? That's fine if you use that. But to add the dominance to the capital flow, it's not gonna show. It's gonna show you as BTC, as mean BTC price, index price. That's what's gonna show you. Because you see the difference, BTC USDT, D, whatever, right? And this is just the BTC. And it should set BTC.D as dominance. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't read the dominance flow. Ooh, I like that. To bottom. Or maybe when you change to volume. Technically, yes, but filter tree is all around the market. So eventually, this still have how I see it. I'm not sure if I'm reading it right, but this still have a price to it, right? This is still a price-based chart. All right, this is in billion, trillions, whatever. So yeah, it will read, and it shows on capital flow as total tree because it has a price, right? Dominance, in that perspective, it's a percentage based, right? That's why. That's why. Same thing with USDT dominance or C dominance, right? You will not be able to add them. But USDT and USDC cards, yeah, you can, because that's price based. makes sense. But play around with it and check, right? Everything what you add to it, check if it goes correctly. If not, that means that chart or that ticker is not price based. That's the most important thing. Overall, it's simple as it gets. Use it, guys. This is really, really freaking strong tool. Something that my will technically it will give you much more certainty in the direction where the market is heading and when it can turn around before even looking at a chart or before even going through every single metrics or whatever you're having or you're watching, or definitely before even the indicator is going to show you. Because overall, to be honest with you, most of the indicators right now, especially oscillators, since November the 14th, right, they're bottomed and we are still going lower. So I'm sorry that I'm saying that, but there is not really a use case for the direction to look at it, right? If everything is bottom and wait for a push up. Yeah, of course. But then you're going to see that before ever, even on the charts, right? You're going to see when we're going to reach the high, we're going to break that, then yeah, also it's going to change or show you the direction. But still, that will be lacking indicator. On differently on the capital flow index, means you will see the flow coming in already quite early and you see anything going already in higher or changing or flipping in the position, you see already potential inflow of that coming in, right? So you could be a little bit more prepared in advance. Yeah, still one of the strongest tools right now for me. And it makes my kind of trading way easier than it already is. Look at that, 1 hour broke the structure, it goes below body, even on the wick, it is lower low. So continue. Right now, what you're aiming for, inside retest, done. The same thing over and over and over you've been doing. But yeah, if you don't have any questions, then I will need to bounce because I have a student waiting for me as well. Have a look if you don't mind anything over here. If you need anything specific on the things that I'm talking about, capital flow index is the most important one to look at it. The rest is updated version of the streams that I'm doing. Or rewatch it a little bit more quicker or slower. Like to do that. If not, then dashboard is still place to go. Keep in mind, still going lower. The most important levels for me will be 82 and 78. Every single thing till then, if that's going to be the continuation. Breaking the first 4-hour high, regaining that and holding low, we might start to turn around. Or potentially even something to go back to 100K. And then we're going to see anything else. So far, still continue. So yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the flip side.